All right, we're recording. Don't be picking your nose on camera. I got this camera right on you. This is Darren Gregg, Pendleton County, Kentucky, and his son Jameson Micah Gregg. Micah has moved back from Colorado to the good old state of the bluegrass. He's living here with his dad part-time. He's living with his mommy part-time. And we're going to do a video real quick. I've asked my son, I've asked my son, all right, now you're looking, now the camera's pointing at me. So, you pick your nose if you need to, son. I asked my son I'm going to ask my son some questions. And I'm going to ask the same questions at me. My son's 13 years old. I'm going to ask him questions about our country today. From the eyes of a 13-year-old boy that doesn't want to probably sit around and watch the news. He probably don't want to, not that 13-year-olds don't care. It's just they're 13-year-old kids. When I was 13 years old, I'm going to tell you what I remember as a 13-year-old boy about our country and our president. About the only thing I can remember, I don't necessarily know if I was 13 at the time, but I can remember Ronald Reagan being president. Did I care at that time? I might have been 15, 16, I don't know. I'm not going to do the math because I don't care how old I was. But when I started remembering things, I remember Jimmy Carter, and Jimmy Carter didn't do nothing. I remember Ronald Reagan, and my view on what was going on at the age I was then was Ronald Reagan, to me back then, seemed to be a good president. I know he was a great president, but back then I just thought, well, he's a president, blah, blah, blah. So now I'm going to ask my son what he knows about what he thinks about is going on today. Okay, now I'm going to turn the camera back around to my son, and I'm going to ask him some questions. Okay, don't be picking your nose now. Who's the president of the United States right now?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. Would you classify him as the greatest president in history or the worst president in history?
I wouldn't say good or bad.
You don't think good or bad? Okay. Back to me. My opinion on our president today. I think my opinion is I think he is the worst president in history. That is my opinion with what I see that's going on. But I'm 53 years old now. You're 13. Okay, camera back to my son. What are some of the biggest problems in the United States right now?
Well, the gas prices for one. I would say that Joe Biden is not preparing us for what's happening overseas.
Okay, stop. Back to me. To answer his questions through my eyes, gas prices are worst president in history, like I said. Preparing us for what's going on, he is not preparing this country for nothing. He's preparing us to be, we will have nothing and we will like it. That is what I think the president is preparing us for. All right. Back to my son. Let's think of another question. What do you think about, what do you think is going on? What do you think is going on overseas?
Two countries fighting.
Do you know what two countries are fighting?
Ukraine and Russia.
What is your view on Ukraine? What do you think about the country? When somebody says, what do you think about Ukraine? What do you say? Do you think they're a good country? You think they're a bad country? What do you think?
I'd say there's nothing wrong with them because it seems like Russia is invading them.
Okay, back to me. Ukraine. My opinion on Ukraine. There's good people in Ukraine. There's bad people in Ukraine. What do I think about Russia? There's good people in Russia. There's bad people in Russia. But what I want to say about them two countries is, and back through history, as far back as Jimmy Carter, or maybe even further, there has always been some type of conflict with every president the United States has had. There has been some kind of a conflict, whether it be, I don't want to call them wars because there was some wars, but what scale we've seen these wars has not been the scale of World War II, Vietnam, etc. But we've always had some kind of a skirmish for every president that we have had in history. Now, when Donald Trump became president, not that I'm taking up for Donald Trump. Yes, I was a Donald Trump supporter. Oh my God, you were a Donald Trump supporter. You are going to hell. Don't be sitting over there laughing because I ain't got you on camera. But we never had this. We never had no trouble with Russia. We never had no trouble to amount to anything with North Korea. But we've always had trouble with man. That tells me something. It tells me something. Maybe Russia's not the boogeyman. Maybe the boogeyman is. Could it be Ukraine? Could it be China? Could it be the United States? Could it be? Could it not be Russia? I'm not holding up for Russia or, whatever you want to call it. I'm not holding up for them. But it just seems weird because Facebook and social media is a good tool if you use it the right way. The mainstream media, there's no way that we can, well, I won't say there's no way we can't fight them, but the majority of the United States has got their eyes focused on them telling us the truth all the time. Well, they don't. They spin things to make people think different things. Social media, they'll block you for this. They'll block you for going to the bathroom. They want you to have nothing and you'll like it. Let me see if I can think of another question, because this is just off the wall conversation with me and my son here this morning on a Saturday, and we're just sitting here talking about it. I'm going to turn it back on to him. All right, what do you think, Micah, about the food in our country?
Sounds like to me that it's been running out.
The food's running out. Do you know the supply of food that we have prepared in the United States? Do you know how long our country has, when I say prepared, how many cans of beans do you think the United States has on the shelf? Do you think it's 30 days? Do you think it's 3 months? Do you think it's 3 years? How long do you think we have food? Hold on. How much food do you think our country has sitting on the shelf to be ready for us to go to the store, buy it, and eat it? How long?
I'd say at least a few years.
A few years? Well, we don't. Back to me. We do not have 3 years worth of food laying on the shelf. It's more like 3 months, from the articles and things that I watch, we've got about a 3-month supply of food on the shelf. How many years, months, days do you think China has on their shelf? Or in their stockpile, whatever you want to call it.
I honestly have no clue.
No clue. Back to me. From a year and a half to 2.5, maybe 3 years worth of food China has stockpiled in their country for their people. Imagine that. Okay, this video is gone 10 minutes. I'm going to turn it off. But that's the words from an older man and a younger son. Are we close on... We're pretty... I don't know that we're close together thinking the same way yet, but from a 13-year-old to a 53-year-old, he's not far off. So, young people, you need to wake up and start studying what's going on in the world and our own country. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you got to do. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. And we are off.